right, and we are back, and I believe our first guest has called in, and I'm hoping that she can hear me. We've
Yes.
fixed our issues. Nancy E. Williams, are you there?
I am, Tony. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad we were able to address the phone issues. But, yes, I'm live and ready to go.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for calling back in. I appreciate it. Nancy is, as I mentioned earlier, is the owner of Invaluable Franchise Consulting. And thank you so much for calling back in. I really appreciate it, your patience. This is a live show, and as I tell my audience, anything can happen on a live show, so we try and make it work. So give us the basics. Talk to me a little bit about your business, how long you've been in business, and how you got your start.
Sure. So my business focuses mainly on women and minorities, trying to help them better understand and get involved in the process of purchasing a franchise. So what I do is people will come to me and say they want to be their own business owner. They have no idea how to get into it. They are not really interested in the startup world because of either the high risk, the low support they have in terms of partnerships to start a business, and they're really looking for the support that a franchise gives, whether it's national or local marketing, operational support, building their website, doing some of their billing and books for them. So it's really just about getting them acclimated to what the franchise process is, as well as how to get funding, and just make them more comfortable that they can achieve that goal of business ownership. So my services are free to my clients, and so it takes away this concern around paying for the service and deciding not to buy a franchise. It's really just about focusing on getting their needs met and matching them with the right company. In terms of my background, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say in background. I've been doing this for about a year. However, I've been involved with the franchise world on and off for 14 years as I worked with Sprint. So I was a director at Sprint for 14 years, anywhere from customer service to operations to sales. So I worked closely with the sales team, operations team, making sure that the stores, the Sprint stores, which some people don't realize that there is a segment of those stores that are franchises, ensuring that they had what they need to be successful. So, again, my background is in corporate. I've been doing this consulting for about a year, and I got into it because I was really excited about the franchise model. And as I left Sprint, I had considered purchasing a Sprint store, and I just got so excited after talking to several franchise consultants about how they felt about helping folks find a business, as well as their communities build small business, which really is the backbone of the business world here.
Now, for anyone out there, because I've been thinking about your business in researching for this particular segment. Let me ask you a couple of questions, because as I'm sitting here and I'm getting some ideas and some resources that I want to share with you and share with our audience as well. If you're thinking of starting a business or starting a franchise, do you need money to get started?
You do. So that's part of the education that I really like to share. I think people have a misconception that, hey, I want to buy a franchise. It's going to take millions of dollars, and I just don't know how to get into it. From the franchise perspective, we have, entry points as low as $2,000, which is going to be somewhere in the vending machine type arena, all the way up to, of course, the $1 million McDonald's or Pizza Huts, etc. So it really runs the gamut, and if owning your own business is something that you want to do, we certainly have various levels for people that would like to get into it. In addition to that, of course, all types of funding, anywhere from SBA loans that, most franchises are enrolled in the Small Business Association program, so it makes it relatively easy to get approved that way based on a credit score and the business that you're starting, to unsecured lines of credit. Many franchisors actually also do internal funding or financing for you. So there are several ways to approach it, but certainly it is affordable if it is something that you want to do.
And I love hearing that, because one of the things that I want to share with you, and I hope you do email me and take me up on this, there are two resources that I want to share with you. And I usually reserve this for a lot of my clients who are speakers who want to book speaking engagements, but I want to share this with you. One resource that I think you would be absolutely a genius in going and talking with these people is Experience Unlimited here in San Francisco, and I think there's one in the East Bay as well. As a matter of fact, I'm sure there is. I think they're in Walnut Creek. But these are people who are they're in transition. A lot of them are looking to start businesses. Some of them are just looking for a regular 9 job, but quite a number of them are saying, you know what, I'm not having any luck finding a 9-to-5 job. So I think having someone like you go in and talk to them about, starting a franchise, starting their own business would be ideal.
And I think that's a great suggestion, Tony. Absolutely. I'm really focused when I'm posting and blogging on LinkedIn on people that are in transition, because I think that too many people feel that they should be going back to a corporate job or that's where they need to be. And as we get older, the competition gets stiffer, and we realize that that's not necessarily the world that we want to play in, and not enough people consider being their own boss and starting their own business. They've got years of experience, and it's certainly something that they can achieve. So that sounds like a great opportunity.
Okay, and that information is actually in the directory. I know you purchased the directory and the magazine, the Speakers Magazine. But if you will email me and remind me, I will do an email introduction personally with the facilitator who books speakers, because I know she's looking for next year. So if you're interested in getting in there and talking to these people, they usually have about 30, 35 people, sometimes more, who attend these things.
Yes,
I would be glad. Email me. The other thing, because you mentioned the SBA, I also have a 10-plus year relationship with the SBA here in San Francisco. If you want to do some speaking at the SBA, let me know, and I'll do an email introduction with them as well, because I think that would be perfect. It would be sort of a tie-in to what you guys are doing anyway.
Great. Okay. Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay. So let me ask you, how do I know that when I should franchise my business? I mean, one of the things that I've been thinking about is, I do so many things. I do the magazines, the radio show, and the internet TV show and magazines and everything else. How do I know what type of businesses would make a good franchise, and how do I know it's time to
that's an excellent question. It's an excellent question. So there is an aspect of my business where I do focus on helping clients that have been in business for a little while and say, hey, I think this is a possible franchise opportunity for me, but where do I start? And I also have this information on my website, which it's a quick way to refer to. But there's a couple things that we look for. One, we ask that people are at least in 3 years of operation. So that's really like the lowest bar right there, which is you need to really be in business for 3 years. The profitability is also the second question that we ask. How profitable are you? What would a return on investment for an investor or franchisee be? And then the third one is the business repeatable or sustainable with a proven system in place? A lot of times you'll get people that are doing really great in their business. However, it has a regional or local feel to it, which would be very difficult to replicate elsewhere. As you know, we've got a lot of very health-conscious businesses and industries in California, and that doesn't necessarily translate to, say, a Kansas or an Ohio. So you really, when you're looking to franchise, you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you have to limit yourself to a certain region of the country. You'd like to be able to open it up to everyone. So those are some of the basic questions, but again, there's a list of them that people can look at and figure out if that's where they want to go. And there is a level of financial investment as well, because there's paperwork that has to be filed, there's registrations that have to be done in 20-plus states, and again, there's a whole process of marketing. So, there's a plethora of questions to be asked, but those are really the basics.
Okay. Now, what are the advantages of franchising, and how long would it take someone to say, okay, I've got $2,000. I'm going to finance this myself. I've got $2,000 stacked away. How long would it take them realistically to start turning a profit?
Yeah, that question is really related to what industry you're in. Like many things, the lower your investment, the longer it's going to take to start making money. So something along the low, 2,000, 3,000 investment is going to be something like a vending machine, which goes in each location, has to be managed, and as you start to accumulate more funds, you want to grow that business and add more machines to your portfolio. So, something like a vending machine, if you're up a couple of months and it's in a high traffic area, you can already start making a profit. But, other businesses, if you're looking to invest a little bit more, Senior Care is one of the fastest growing franchises for obvious reasons because we have a fast growing senior population. You can start, being in the black in a couple of months because it's based on the number of seniors that you're placing in facilities or the number of seniors that you're sending home health care workers to, and again, it just depends on the number of clientele. So it really is industry-driven based on what you're investing in.
Okay, and on your website, do you have a list of the types of really hot franchise opportunities that are out there now? Is that on your website?
Yeah, I don't have it segmented by really hot, and one of the reasons is, hot is sort of relative to what it is that you're looking to do, and I try to advise my clients that they should really be looking for a business or an industry that they're passionate about because there are some businesses that take a lot more effort, but if you're really enjoying what you're doing, it doesn't seem that way. So I'll use the example of pet training or dog training. There's a phenomenal franchise out there that does dog training, and it turns a very good profit. But you have to be passionate about dogs, and you have to be passionate about the dog owners and have a really good relationship for that to happen. So it's not really, what's on my website is not segmented in that way. What I do have is I do represent close to 500 franchises across the country, and you can sort by the category, you can sort by the financial investment, and then if you find those on my site and that sound interesting to you, that's when you can, fill out a quick form, and I'll be happy to give you a call, and we can talk about things like profitability, investment, and return on investment.
Okay, and because unfortunately we've run out of time, I would love it if you have any final tips that you can share with our audience.
Sure, absolutely. So if you are looking to start a business or be your own boss, you really need to figure out if franchising is for you or you really have a unique idea that you just want to, start it up and try it on your own. If you would like something that's more established, that gives you the support, I would definitely look into franchising. And my advice on that is to always use a consultant. As I mentioned at the top of my segment, our services are free, and we have access to lots of information that most people don't have, and we have good relationships with the franchisors that we work with. So, there's things that I can tell you as soon as you call me about a franchise that can make you excited about it or make you back off and be concerned. So whether it's me or anyone else, I strongly advise that you use a consultant if you're looking at franchises. The second thing would just be do your homework. As much research as possible. This is not a process that you want to rush through. You want to be able to talk to other franchisees that currently own the business and feel comfortable as you move forward. So, again, I don't want to take up too much time because I know we're at the end, but if I had any tips, those would be it.
All right, sounds good. Nancy, give your website again, would you?
Sure. It's www.invaluablefranchiseconsulting. That's with an N and the word valuablefranchiseconsulting.com. And if you want to give me a call and talk through it, my phone number is 800-710-7457.
Nancy, please email me and remind me to send you the contacts for the SBA and Experience Unlimited. I want to do an email introduction if you're interested.
Absolutely. I do appreciate it. And thanks so much for having me, Tony. I enjoyed the segment.
And thank you for calling back. I appreciate it. And by the way, will you come back and talk to us again?
Absolutely. At any time, I'm happy to do it.
Just send me an email, and because I want to get you back on in 2016, probably around March. Okay?
Great. Sounds good. Thank you.
All
I
right.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much, and we will be right back with our next guest.